Okay, hello everybody. I'm Conquering History Games, and welcome to Livestream number 13 of my Suzerain campaign, where we are still going kind of reformist Democrat. So it was another weary day today, so I don't know how long this one's going to go, but I'm going to try to go at least an hour. After that, no promises. Now, I think today we're going to start negotiating with Welland. But before that, let's turn the page and read the news today. Swordland and Agnolia have entered an alliance. That's good. Geopolitical. I think we already did this. We recognize Hedgeland as Agnolian. We've got a new alliance. Yeah. Hegel says we're playing with fire. Okay, yeah. That's good. I think it's time. Here we go. Trade talks with the president of Welland. Swordland One's flight from Wholesword to Raklawitz took approximately 5 hours. Despite heavy turbulence, I managed to sleep a little. Along with Simon and David, we landed at the international airport of the capital city of Welland. Our aim here was to finalize the trade deal drafted in between Swordland and Welland. Shortly after our plane landed, the door opened and the sun blinded me for a moment. I stepped outside. I saw the soldiers lined up on either side of a red carpet. There must have been at least 100 soldiers. The marching band started playing, and the soldiers immediately saluted me. Proceed to the red carpet without any gestures. They're, soldiers of a different nation. At the bottom of the stairs, Victor Smolak was waiting for me, next to a military jeep with a few soldiers by his side. Okay, so, this is let's review this guy, because we haven't looked into him since, Livestream 2, so we're going to review it for the benefit of those who don't remember him. He is a Wesik politician who's currently serving as the president of Welland. In addition, he is the commander-in-chief of the Wesik Armed Forces. He is known for his commitment to Wesik nationalism with socialist characteristics. Whatever that means. He is the third president to rule Welland after the departure of the Arcasian troops in the aftermath of the Welland Civil War. He was the leader of the National Nurist Alliance of Welland until 1940, which heavily promoted Wesik nationalism and Nurist traditionalism. After the failures of the previous post-war presidents in lifting the country out of economic recession, he formed his own political party, the Wesik Nationalist Party of Nurist Socialism, in 1942, which combined religious Nurist politics with Wesik nationalism and socialism. He was elected president in 1943, so he's been president for 10 years. During his first years as president, Smolak oppressed and persecuted most of his opposition, censored the Wesik press, and seized the assets of the multimillionaires. As a staunch anti-Arcasian, he blamed the Royalists, Liberals, and the Democrats for the Civil War and the subsequent Arcasian invasion. Despite being an anti-Malenyevist before the Civil War, he brought Welland closer to United Kontana, which helped him bring the country out of recession with the financial aid coming from the CSP. Smolak's aggressive promotion of Welland nationalism and Nurist politics also resulted in the oppression of ethnic and religious minorities in Welland. His rule was marked by thousands of Bloodish people being arrested and killed, as well as military action against the Bloodish Freedom Front, which set up bases in northeastern Welland. Yeah, but he's got a nice smile, I guess. Wow, so it's almost like, his so-called socialism, it's almost like he'll just fucking say or do anything and get help from anyone. He was a tall man, almost as tall as me. He was wearing large sunglasses, and his attire was a regular suit, contrasting with the military attire of everyone else in the field. Oh, gosh, what do we want this guy to sound like? Miss Victor. You see, it almost seems to have Germanic affectations in the language. You know, Victor, Smolak. What was the other thing? It said Vesik. Or would Germanic, is that the right term? But you know what I'm saying? Like, it feels like it could be pronounced that way. Wesik. Waskily Wabbit. You know, who was that one Hungarian actor? He was big in like the early 2000s, late 90s. He was in the whole 9 yards. You know, he'd go, don't belong, don't belong. You know, does anybody know what I'm talking about? I don't know if he was actually Hungarian, but his character was supposed to be Hungarian. I probably sound like a madman. We'll go with that. Mr. President, welcome to Raklowitz. Okay. Hold on a second. Let me make a note. Don't belong. You don't belong. Okay, hold on a sec. Okay. Anyway, that's odd. We don't have too many people in the stream today. Okay. Oh my gosh. Hold on a second. I'm getting a message from my apartment complex. What? Did they send me that yesterday? No, they just sent it right now. Yeah, okay, they're going to be doing some inspections. You got to be streaming at 10 more often. Those are the primo hours, apparently. What do you mean 10? 10 what time? 10 a.m.? 10 p.m.? So, we hugged, the mini cameras went off at the same time. He turned around for a couple of additional poses. Thank you for inviting us. Now that the pleasantries are done, let's go. We will take the Jeep for a tour. With another tune from the marching band, we boarded the military Jeep. He sat in the driver's seat and I sat next to him. As we started speeding up, the soldiers saluted again. Victor Smolak saluted back. Do nothing. My security detail and Victor's security detail started following us immediately, along with a team of reporters. We will first go to the city center to see the opening of a statue. Whose statue? It's mine, of course. We kept making small talk about the flight and the weather, until we started making our way. That's not a proper sentence. Into the city center. On almost every corner, there were reporters taking photos of us. Oddly enough, every single street that we took seemed completely empty. Is Ralkovitz always this empty? I had the locals close down their businesses because of your visit, so you can enjoy the city more. There we are. We arrived at the city center. In the middle of a large plaza, there was a covered statue. Lots of people had gathered behind fences, and they were waving both swordland and Welland flags. Victor waved back at them. My people have been very supportive of this visit, Mr. President. I'm sure you are delighted to see. A man came close to the fences and started yelling at Victor. With my limited knowledge of the Vesik language, I understood the words Victor and murderer. Oh, okay, so this wasn't... I thought this was like somebody on the staff who just came up and was yelling at Smolak. But no. This is in the crowd. Hey there, Nicholas. Almost instantaneously, 2 soldiers showed up from behind the man, and he was taken away. Thankfully, the sun is up. Today will be a good day for a reveal. What will happen to the man who was protesting you? Which man? That one in the crowd? Don't worry about the details. He must have been a troubled fellow. Let's focus on the event. We took our places in front of the statue. With a drum roll, the statue of Victor Smolak was uncovered. The statue was done pretty well, except he was made more masculine. He was wearing a cloak and holding a sword in his hands. Excellent statue. Very lifelike. What do you think? Okay. Another century, Kessler? Did you mean country? Mr. Smolak, I don't have time for these games. Let's go straight into the business. Don't worry, we will. Join me for a walk. Yanni, I think that was the name of the guy. I followed him through the streets. At every corner, more and more photos were taken. We stopped in front of a pastry vendor on the street. Give me 2 strudels. Wow, what a man. The man behind the stand smiled and gave us 2 strudels. What do I want to do here? I'm going to step in and pay the street vendor. I'm not even going to wait. I'm going to do it myself. I put my hand on my wallet and brought up some money to give the vendor. Hold up, your money doesn't count here. I got this. He handed the money to the street vendor. The cameras flashed again. Afterwards, we walked a short distance to the palace. Passing the gates of the palace, we made our way into the main building made from ivory-colored stones. The old guard towers flanked the magnificent main building from both sides. The inside of the palace was very spacious, with a very large chandelier hanging from the ceiling. Grand staircases made from the same ivory stone had red carpets on them. On both sides to the upper levels, guards stood with the traditional outfits of the old Vesic kingdoms. Oops. Alright. You can get an achievement if you fund the well and revels to coup Victor. No way! Are you serious? I'm gonna get that shit. Oh my god, the Turkish nationalists will be so triggered. What's that achievement called, Senkens? Tell me immediately. We're gonna look this up. I'm looking at, we were all citizens. Let's see. I'm seeing there's an achievement for if there's a bloodish insurrection in our own country that we cause. But let's see here. I'm trying to find it. Excuse me. I don't know. I'm not seeing anything. Nothing specific. Is it a hidden? Is it a hidden achievement? Because there's lots of achievements that don't have descriptions. Let's see. Dinner by myself. Shout. Okay. Gotta get a spreadsheet ready for a hashtag blessed run of the game. Yeah. Alright, I'm not seeing anything. So if somebody finds out what the name of the achievement is, please tell me it immediately. Thank you very much, so we can go for that. This is important. On both sides, I would look it up myself more right now, but I'm in the middle of streaming. Anyway, the inside of the palace was very spaciously with a very large chandelier hanging from the ceiling. Grand staircases made from the same ivory stone. Hold on. Made from the same ivory stone. Dang it, my phone's acting up. It's because it's trying to tell me to do things. On both sides, guards stood. We finally reached the office of the president of Well, and the door closed behind us. I'm going to put my phone away. I'm sorry, guys. It's because the friggin' my apartment complex is bothering me. We finally reached the office of the president of Wellen. The door closed behind us. The interior boasted gold ornaments on the walls, ivory colors, and various jewels attached to different artifacts of old. As was customary in Welland, we sat down on the carpet. Now we could talk about our trade deal. Now we can talk about our trade deal. So I was going to say that, so the governor of my neighboring state, New Mexico, they used to have this governor called Bill Richardson. And I remember I once saw this interview where, because was it Bill Richardson? Anyway, it was some sort of foreign minister, and he was talking about how he once met Saddam Hussein for some sort of foreign event, and they were speaking in private. So, oh, what's that? Oh, we have somebody who just subscribed. Thank you very much, Elreg, and also Doom Natural or something. Anyway, so whether it was Bill Richardson or somebody else, whatever, they were talking with Saddam Hussein and things were going well, and then all of a sudden, Saddam had gotten very upset, and like the translator was trying to explain what was going on, and then eventually the translator and Richardson went into another room so he could like tell him why Saddam Hussein had gotten so upset. And it was because like even though things had been going well, it was because he had crossed his if I'm telling the story wrong, or if this is not Iraqi culture at all, or maybe Saddam was just crazy, I don't know. I apologize. This is just the story as I remember it. But apparently Richardson crossed his legs, and so he during the conversation, and his left leg was on top of the right one, and he was exposing the sole of his left shoe to Saddam, which I guess is an insult in Iraq. I know there's like the left hand thing. I don't know about the soles of the feet thing. And so Saddam just like, they just couldn't, they pretty much had to call it a day on the negotiations for that particular day. Anyway, all right. Let's get going. So we can talk about our trade deal, finally. But before that, bring the Kisha. A few assistants immediately entered the room carrying a large ornamented Kisha, the well-known smoking instrument originating from Welland. They immediately lit it up, and the room was filled with the smell of tobacco. He inhaled the smoke and handed me the Kisha. I don't smoke. Your loss, it's the finest tobacco in the land. He took another puff, filling the room with more smoke. Oops. So, Mr. President. Bah, that's too long. Can I call you Anton? I prefer my official title. I'm gonna be a little terse with this guy. Very well, Mr. President. Tell me, what do you really think about Rumberg? Let's see here. They're a threat that needs to be dealt with. I agree with your sentiments, Mr. President. They are a threat to everyone in the region. I assure you their time will come. Regardless, I would rather prevent further conflict in the region. You know as well as I do, Mr. President. They are coming whether we like it or not. They are the aggressor, not us. For now, I have something else in mind. What is it? Look. He's got a map now. Bloods in their so-called BFF are causing problems for me in this region. I know that they are a problem for you as well. I might not allow these traitors to exist in my border. I will hit them with all the might of Welland. These terrorists need to be destroyed. I call it Operation Bear Trap. What do you want from me? He grinned and laid back on the large pillow behind him. Here is the deal. I will give you the best trade deal in the region. You will give me your assistance crushing the terrorists on both of our borders. Absolutely not. I won't meddle in Welland's military interventions. This is not just Welland's problem. This is also Swordland's problem. These terrorists are doing anything they can to destabilize the region. Again, this is the terrorist organization that's been active for years at this point. My spies have infiltrated BFF cells. They found caches of KA-74. We traced them back to Rumburg. This alone justifies my retaliation to protect my country. Worst of all, we also found that similar shipments are going to Swordland. Yes, Mr. President, you see, this is not just Welland's problem. Let's take a step back and talk about what you will get in return. I propose you a no-tariff agreement. I'm becoming more Russian. Co-investment projects in oil. Gotta bring it west a little. In return, you will assist me in destroying the terrorists in my country. There might be international ramifications. To hell with the international ramifications! I will protect my country. I don't care what they say. What I want from you in return for all the money and resources is a joint operation in between our armies against BFF. No deal, it's too risky. I don't like that I can only say it's too risky. Why can't I say, bro, I'm not gonna help you genocide these people. I'm afraid I can't accept. Wait, Mr. President, wait. Normally I wouldn't offer anything else, but I like you. Here is my final offer. When the operation starts, with or without you, there will be stragglers trying to cross into Swordland. We just want you to support the operation, even if you do not join. Stop the terrorists from fleeing into your country, and you will have your deal. Simple, isn't it? So what do you think? No deal. I'm afraid I can't accept. That's unfortunate. I thought we could be friends, but you decided to leave Welland alone by itself. Such a shame. I am sure a great leader like Sol would have accepted this great offer without a doubt. My assistants will show you the way. Goodbye, Mr. Rain. Nod and leave. Well, you know what? Actually, that ultimately went better than I thought. Yeah, we weren't getting the deal with him. Not with this particular run. Maybe if we were doing a nationalist run. So, no trade deal, no nothing. Definitely not a military alliance. So, speech of the president on the reforms. So we're asking for the support of the assembly. The assembly was in a huge chaos. Complete chaos with shouting and cursing between the parties. There was a heavy argument about a proposal made by an MP from the NFP. So this is the National Front. I took my seat at the special area reserved for the ministers. Gloria was shouting from her seat at the center of the hall. She hit the gavel 3 times, with each strike heavier than the one before. Order! Order! I saw Kesaro Kibener standing up. Yeah, this guy would have loved for us to get an alliance with Welland. Standing up from his seat and shouting towards the members of the PFJP. Mr. Kibener, calm yourself. Show respect to the procedures of this assembly. Despite her efforts, the argument continued for a couple of minutes before everyone took back to their seats and finally went quiet. That should probably say, went back to their seats and finally became quiet or something. Mr. Kibener, next time when I tell you to do so, either take your seat or leave the hall so we can proceed with the procedures of this assembly and continue our duties. Some MPs from the NFP side shouted back at her in protest. Honorable... Caesar? Ladies and gentlemen, if you allow me to continue, she pointed at me, we have the president here with us today. He is asked to give an important announcement. The assembly fell silent. You have the floor, Mr. President. I walked to the stand as loud clapping started in the USP side. Let's see, what do we want to do here? Let's butter them up a little. Honorable members of the Assembly, of the Grand National Assembly of Swordland, I am here today to raise important questions regarding our outdated constitution. Hey there, J-Dog. Good to see you. So I need to get them on my side. This is kind of a speech to everybody. So how do we want to do this? What does that smell? Gosh, one thing is possible here. Let's appeal to saying we're going to make them stronger. Our elected assembly has always been overshadowed by the executive and the designated judiciary branches in Swordland. The Grand National Assembly must be able to exercise its job properly and without obstruction. However, our current constitution fails to guarantee this. Let's see here. I call everybody to stand by us to make historic changes to our constitution and bring it to the standards of today's world. Applause from USP and PFJP seats. Yeah, these guys are gonna vote with me. They're just obnoxious morons if they don't. We will break the Supreme Court's authority over constitutional changes. Unity, 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 unity. It is more important than ever that we stand unified as a nation in these challenging times. I call everybody to be part of the change our people have been calling for. We all want to make Swordland better, don't we? Let's embrace democracy and unite under the banner of our people, and surely Swordland will be great again. Let's embrace... Oh, geez, Tarquin's soul. Oh, let's not go down that path. That's going to turn people on us. Let's embrace the future. Okay. Loud noises came from USP's and NFP's seats. Oh, that's good. The NFP. I wasn't expecting to get anybody to vote from them, but okay. Okay. I'll take every vote I can get. I took a breath and continued. Ladies and gentlemen of the Assembly, we must set aside our differences. Be part of a new era for Swordland. Join us and vote for our proposal. This is all kind of generic now. Let's write the future together. Okay, yeah, we're just repeating ourselves. Do I want to salute the crowd, or finish with a poem? Is getting cheers from the NFP necessarily a good moral sign? Look, that's not what we're here to talk about today, Kessler. Salute or poem? Salute or poem? Poem poems tend to be nationalistic. Oh, but what if I'm going to end up quoting a poem from that communist? That would be awkward, because there's no communists in the assembly. I'm going to risk it. We're going to try to do a poem. Hopefully it's a national poem. Let's see here. There is a victory growing with every morning. Oh, that's the catchphrase! There is a victory growing with every morning. There is my country beyond everything, my beloved. Let's see. Caesar, what the heck are you doing over there? Get down. Get down, get down, get down. Huh. Anyway. Hold on, gotta adjust some things here. Shift this. There we go. Okay. Huh. It's the catchphrase in English instead of swordish. I don't know. I don't know. Not loving this poem so far, though. I don't know about the songs to be sung. Spring that blossoms out of the grave of our fallen. I'm not sure any of these are helping us. Do not dare to surrender. There is a victory that grows with defeat. Beyond the next morning, there is a victory waiting to be won. The assembly roared with all kinds of different reactions. Yeah, that was not great. Some applause came from the PFJP and USP seats. Most of the others started to make loud noises again. Thank you for the speech, Mr. President. I walked back to my seat as many MPs asked to speak. Franz Richter was among them. Yes, Mr. Richter? I don't think we've given this guy a voice yet. Okay, I don't know, he looks kind of generic. Kind of looks like Clark Kent. What are we gonna do here? Well, what do we want for Franz Richter? Franz Richter is... I don't know, maybe I'll just deeper normal. I don't know, deeper Clark Kent. Superman doesn't have much of a... I don't know. Yeah, whatever. Doesn't matter. Thank you, Mrs. Speaker. I would like to thank Mr. President for his speech. We, the People's Freedom and Justice Party, stand in agreement with the need for a more democratic constitution. You know what? He's a social democrat, right? Let's have fun. Let's have fun. Let's have fun. Okay, I know he doesn't look like him. I know he looks like a young man. Here's what we're gonna do, though, just for fun. Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders. There we go. For fun. I would like to thank Mr. President for his speech. We, the People's Freedom and Justice Party, stand in agreement with the need for a more democratic constitution. When I was a young boy growing up in Brooklyn, I picked up this accent. I would like to thank the ladies and gentlemen of the United Sodlin Party for their more open attitude compared to past years. As long as Mr. President's words prove not to be just words, we will be behind this much-needed movement for change. We welcome this attempt. I ask Mr. President to share the final contents of these proposals as soon as possible. Yeah, he smoked a lot of cigarettes. That's it. It aged his voice. Thank you, Mrs. Speaker. Suddenly, Kesaro Kibener started yelling from his seats. He cannot see beyond his own desires! Because he's Luke Evans. Get it? Like from The Hobbit. Okay, so yeah, I think I already made a note. Yeah, is fascist Luke Evans. A.K.A. Bard from The Hobbit. So what we're going to do is we're going to just constantly end with screaming, "He cannot save me on his own desires!" So get ready for that. That's the drinking game. You want to talk catchphrase? That's what this guy's is. The president must have lost his mind to cooperate with the likes of you, Mr. Richter. You and PFJ are nothing but puppets of Western interests. Order! Madam Speaker, I know you're in agreement with me as well. Don't stand idly there while this administration is making deals with snakes and undermine the integrity of sort. Order, Mr. Kibener! How many times do I need to say it? You are speaking out of... I demand to speak! The president cannot save me on his own desires! Gloria gave him a stare. She looked annoyed. Very well, Mr. Kibener. Go ahead. Mr. President! He looked directly. Yeah, I know. I wanted to do the order. Order. But Gloria's a woman, so she's not going to sound like that. So it's going to be order. He looked directly at me. The nationalist movement does not agree with your priorities, nor the way you're trying to implement them. The National Front Party will not stand with you on your new constitution. Let it be known that the NFP's concerns are not included in this so-called democratic reform. Thus, Mr. President has no right to claim them as such. You cannot save me on your own desires! These streams must kill your voice. They kind of do a little bit. You know, I once met Billy West, the voice actor. He did Philip J. Fry and a million other things. He's the red M&M in the M&M commercials. And we ended up talking for a very long time, and he talked about how he was kind of happy when, what was it? Was it Ren and Stimpy? It was one of his earlier voice acting roles where, like, it was a consistent role that he had. And he was the voice of Rin, the Chihuahua, I think. Let me double check that. Let me look that up online. I'm pretty sure that's what it said. Yeah, it's here. Voice acting. Yeah. Billy West. Billy West. Yeah. So he said he was going, but he was talking about how he was a little bit relieved when the Ren and Stimpy show ended, because he would kind of go high pitched and do different stuff with his voice that really strained it. And so when that show ended, he was a little grateful. Was that Ren and Stimpy that he had been talking about? I think it was that, or was it a different show? But he was working some sort of show where he had a very high-pitched voice. Or was it Beanie and Cecil? No, yeah, it was Ren and Stimpy, because he'd been doing that for like 5 years. Anyway, where was I? Yeah, we're going back. Let it be. The president has no time to claim them as such. We will stand our ground against any attempt at bringing down our established political culture and national values. Thank you. Kesaro went back to his seat, but the chaos in the assembly continued. I'm going to have you guys vote on this. Do you think we should keep going, keep trying this, or just leave? Have we made our point? I don't think we're going to ever have a sit-down with Kesaro, and even if we did, we're not going to get anywhere. He's going to say, Mr. President, I'll only accept these reforms if you make yourself a dictator. It's the only thing I can stand for. All right, so anyway, assembly question. 1 or 2. All right. Oh, geez, no, it seems like everybody's saying asked to speak. All right, sure. Yes, Mr. President. Oh, nice. True centrism. I just wanted to thank everybody for their comments. Everyone's like, eat shit and die, Richter! Mr. Kibener, I am once again asking for you to go fuck yourself. And then I'm just going, like, this is great. Discussion is so important. I just wanted to thank everybody for their comments. All right, Mr. President. MPs kept shouting and responding to each other, creating a loud mess where nothing was legible. You're probably supposed to say intelligible. They need a good. They need to do like some. They need to go over the draft of this. There's a lot of typos and stuff and grammar errors. Order! Order! This topic is finished. We're moving on to our next topic. I slowly left the hall. The shouting could be heard from every corridor of the Grand National Assembly. Okay, are we going to finally meet with the reformists? What does this continue? Proceed to next turn. What's the reform status? So far, we are able to get 121 signatures behind the proposal. The work is underway to increase the support and to reach out to necessary members to reach 150. Oh, nice. That's going to be easy because we're going to... Look, check this out. Where do we go to the legislative? So we need, what, 30 signatures? And the PFJP are 70. So if we had even half of them, that's going to be more than enough. And I'm sure we're going to get them all. Yeah, okay. That's awesome. I like that little update. It puts me at peace of mind. Okay, our elected assembly has always been overshadowed. Exercise. Okay, Geopolitico. Agnolian battleship rams into Vlagslandian destroyer. Holy crap. They did not respond. The two ships collided. Few injuries happened on board. Neither side opened fire. Instead waited for orders. Oh, goodness. Can't believe they didn't start something. Keep in mind, your wife did speak out at the Benfey event. You think that helped me? That didn't have anything to do with the constitutional reforms. We haven't even touched on women's rights. In the reforms, that is. Worst mistake you can make is feel comfortable politically speaking. Yeah, I know. Ooh, wealth of nations. What does that mean? Turn the page. What's the news today? People getting fired. Walking on the wire. Speaking out hurts conservative support for the vote. Oh. Well, it seems like we're doing fine anyway, because, yeah, let's go back to the political overview, legislative. So we have 130, oh, I just realized, what if of those 121 also already include the PFJP? Then we would have problems. No, we're not in Chapter 3 yet. Okay, health requires more resources. We have structural issues. Yeah, we already provided those resources. The hidden power of men in uniform. Military coup. Let's see here. 1927, there was a coup. There was also a conspiracy. Fewer, blah, blah, blah. Men in uniform still enjoy considerable influence on the politics of Swordland, and nothing is being done to reverse the situation despite the country's histories of coups and civil wars. Okay. What now? Oh, we've got a few different things to do here. There's a privatization proposal plan to increase the resources of the health services. Okay, we knew that. Ministry of Justice files, Ernst v. Swordland concurrence. Agreeing in the case of Ishal Erison, pointing out a majority court dissent would disservice to the legal precedent of future constitutional rights cases in the hand of the Supreme Court, so I'm sure we haven't heard the last of that. General Staff is gathering 20 higher-ranking officers in attendance discussing war plans. All right, and Joseph, our former commanding officer and current Minister of Defense, wants to talk to us. Okay, so we're going to the military command building. I never liked this building. It always made me feel like I was standing under the concrete foot of a giant getting ready to crush me. It made me feel small, and I never got quite used to the feeling after these many years. At the entrance, I was greeted by Joseph and his military entourage of young officers. Welcome to the Ministry of Defense, Mr. President. Let's go to my office. We met with officers. Everybody salutes me. This must be something serious, especially since you invited me here. It's important that you don't get misinformed on this matter. Vulcan has another agenda. He leaned back and interlocked his hands. The situation with rumbugs get worse, and our lack of funding in the military means we would fight for survival in a war scenario. I will make sure it won't come to that.
Not everything might be up to us, sir. The recent military partnership we have signed with Magnolia includes a mutual defense clause. In case of conflict, we will be obligated to come to each other's aid. In case of a Rumbug invasion, they will come for help.
Do you think their support would be enough to hold the line?
I don't think so. Mr. President, we need stronger allies. Sure, Magnolia is better than nothing, but we must look further. Lesbia or Vogsland are options in my opinion.
Advice noted. I will bring it up to David.
Any deterrence should force them to think twice. Let's move on to our main topic. The mandatory conscription laws become a matter of discussion, and we need to strike a decision whether to keep it or remove it. The fact are that the conscription gives us a large reservist pool that can cover a larger front line, but these troops lack the morale and quality to be offensive elements.
Yeah, Voxland's not an option anymore. Yeah, we'll figure it out.
My agreement will be to remove conscription if our military can stand on its own 2 feet without them. If we were going to have strong allies, why do we need conscripts?
Vulcan Kruger walked in quickly with a frown. What's the meaning of this, Yosef? Why haven't I been invited? What's going on here?
You are overstepping and interrupted a personal meeting between me and the President.
Vulcan deliberated the situation. I see what's going on. Wait, what voice did I get for Vulcan? I see what's going on here. I don't know. I think it was like an older voice, whatever. I mean, no disrespect, but I am leading the ground operations and must be informed. Must be informed of any strategic changes. There we go. There you go. Well, now that you're here, what is your opinion on conscription?
The matter is rather...
Oh, jeez. It's not that. Something caught in my throat. Excuse me. Okay. Better. The matter is rather simple from my point of view. That was it. We keep to our traditional army doctrine. It is not devoid of disadvantages. However, at the end of the day, Rumberg has a larger army, air force, and navy. Our conscripts will feel the much-needed weaknesses we have. There is a place for reservists. I'm really 50-50 on it, but the thing that tips it for me is the economic issue, because if we start kicking people out of the army, then we're creating more unemployed. And not only are we creating unemployed, we're creating a segment of the unemployed that knows how to use guns.
Mr. President, we need to prioritize quality over quantity.
Your final decision, Mr. President. The conscription's mandatory. That's not very cash money of us, and by cash money I mean reformed democratic. What's better for the army, thinking Hearts of Iron 4 terms? This isn't Hearts of Iron 4! But, we probably should go with quality. Besides, our allies will provide the meat. That's Hearts of Iron 4 thinking. You ally yourself with some cheap Chinese or Indian nation that's going to give you a bunch of cheap soldiers. That's what I meant to say. And then, then, you just make tanks. A vote has been called! A vote has been called for! That's not always going to happen, but yeah, it's... Actually, are we going to do it? Gosh, I want to get moving, guys. We're still on Chapter 2. But yeah, the vote's been called for. Screw it. We're gonna vote. Okay, conscription question. All right. Okay, I'm gonna label it quantity versus quality. Please read it correctly before you vote. All right. Let's see here. Me and the boys going to starve on the Raj border. Manchukuo soldier, 1944. Also, hey, remember you get your allies to help curb beat down resistance in your nation. Also very key. You know what? I just realized February 28th has come and gone. Okay, so while you guys do that, you can vote. It's in the chat, by the way. I need to check my email. So I think I've told this story before. There was something that I ordered literally last July. Oh, thank you very much for the donation. Full Mass Assault. Thanks for the super chat. So yeah, I got I ordered something back in July online. It was through like an independent website. It wasn't Amazon or anything. And they told me, in fact, I'm looking at my emails now. Yeah, so I ordered something in July, and they said, okay, we're gonna email you when there's the alert. We're gonna email you when we ship you the stuff, and it should ship on July 31st. Then on July 31st, they sent me an email. I think it was on July 31st. The votes aren't showing. Okay, let me check the straw poll thing. It's showing for me, and that's what matters. Okay, so then eventually they sent me an email saying, okay, we can't ship it because of the Backstreet Boys reunion tour, so we're having problems. We're going to send it to you in September. Then September came, and they told me, we can't send it to you because release dates are getting, things are getting pushed back because of, the Backstreet Boys reunion tour. And the first link's working, the others aren't. Okay, everybody use the first link. Although I don't know why the others would not be. They are all the same link. Very strange. Anyway. Okay, then September came, and then they pushed it again to October. And they said, we're going to refund you the money. We'll pull it from the account you gave us when we ship it. I went, okay, that's fair, I guess. Although I don't like that they're just going to suddenly pull the money when they decide to ship it. But they said, we're going to ship it to you on Halloween. Then Halloween comes and goes. They said, sorry, we're going to send it to you on December 31st now. December 31st came and gone. Then the 2021 hit. It's now been 6 months. And then they said, we're going to definitely ship it February 28th. And February 28th has come and gone. And I've checked my bank account. And I've checked my emails. I've received no word from them, nor has any money. Let me double check my bank account because I checked it this morning. But no money has been pulled. And it just hits a point where you have to wonder, why, how are they in business anymore? Like, how can somebody stay in business when freaking they can't even ship stuff out, ship stuff that went out in freaking that was supposed to be sent in July? Like, how are they making money if they haven't shipped anything since July? It just don't make sense. Anyway, is anybody else gonna vote? Like, barely over half of you have voted. Alright then, 2 vote difference, but the winner is quantity. Looks like we are going to be keeping mandatory conscription. We will need every single able-bodied to defend the nation. Whenever I think this place shouldn't be in business, I just think it's probably a front.
Mr. President, but...
You heard your superior, Joseph. Joseph threw an angry look at Vulcan before turning to me.
As you wish, Mr. President. Let me look over my documents to see if there's anything else of concern.
Joseph checked his folder before looking at me.
That's about it. I won't take more of your time, sir.
Salute. Let's throw him a bone. Salute. I saluted and Joseph saluted back. I left the Ministry of Defense and returned to the Maroon Palace. Oh, now an extra vote came in, like, last minute. It didn't... You know, the thing is, it almost turned things into a tie. If there had been 2 votes right now last minute, it would have turned it into a tie. Journal entry. I decided to keep the military conscription mandatory. Mad Beast Yeti says, looks like democracy has finally worked for once. It's something I like. So it works. Excuse me. Alright. We have a briefing on the current economic situation. Hey, when did we get up to 4 bars? Weren't we at 3? Thank you very much for the super chat. Here we go. Clink, clink, clink into the cognac glass. Clink, clink, clink. Oh, there goes there's a little bronze coin. There it goes. It's gone. Briefing on the current economic situation. Oh, excuse me. The building was constructed in 1892 by Heron Walt, one of the, if not the most famous architect in Swordland. The building looked simple and elegant, with a few of his signature domes spread out over the roof. Walking through the large bronze doors at the entrance, I was led by 2 assistants upstairs into a meeting room. Everyone stood up as I entered the room, buttoning their suit jackets. Welcome, Mr. President. God, I've been doing a lot of voices in today's stream. It's wearing me down. Let's begin. Wow, this is quite a crew we have here. Why is our foreign affairs minister here? Oh, probably because how foreign affairs has been affecting trade. Or the new trade deals and whatnot. As you all know, today we'll go over our economic status. Let's begin without any further ado. How are we doing in terms of the infrastructure? The first months had positive indicators, but the delay of the infrastructure project reversed economic gains. Isn't a Suzerain stream just a doing voices stream? Yes, but there's a difference between, like, if I'm having a very long conversation with Gloria, and that's almost the entire stream, and when I have to end up doing like a dozen different voices in that same amount of time. Mikhail frowned and put his fingers on his chin. Shouldn't we solve the L1 high-speed rail construction issues? The National Business Council isn't happy with the lack of tangible economic improvements at all. Certain individuals will be held accountable for the failures. That means we're going for Taurus's ass, or what? Oh, that's so harsh, though. I expected a better performance from all of us. But you see, we didn't have anything to do with it. It's freaking Taurus. Taurus lied to us about how much it was going to take, and then the workers went on strike because apparently they're in shitty conditions. Screw the NBC, they want lower corporate taxes, and that's what Tusk wanted. So the NBC, I'm guessing you're referring to the National Business Council, which Mikhail is the head of. So, you know what, yeah, you're right, let's prod at them. I don't really like any of these ones 100%. Focusing on future investments is better, as more opportunities are surely on the horizon. Only if the budget allows it. Agreed. Any reliance on credit could endanger our future. Oh, hey, you know what I just realized? We finally, yeah, I was wondering if this was going to happen. So we have Edith and David in the same room, the adopted siblings. Cool. I wonder if it'll come up. But if it does, I hope it comes up in a natural way. It sometimes could be so awkward. I remember I once was listening to this podcast series where they were reviewing the Monday Night Wars in professional wrestling, and they were talking about how Bret Hart and Owen Hart, who were these in real life brothers who were wrestlers, that in the show they would constantly refer to themselves as like, this is my brother Owen, it's like, or brother Owen or brother Bret, and they're saying, do you think they fucking talk like that at home? Do you think they go home at Thanksgiving and they're, because I think Canadians also celebrate Thanksgiving, and they're like, hey, pass me the mashed potatoes, brother Bret, and stuff like that. So as long as it's not awkward, like Sister Edith or brother David, let's as long as it works. Yeah, we got to sell off the mine company or reform it. That was extremely embarrassing when it turned out that the government-owned mining company was the one that was fucking up. So where was I? Hello? David, do you have the stats on our deal with Agnolia?
Our trade deal with Agnolia has increased our imports and exports by 50% in 1 month, with much more to be expected in the future.
A bureaucrat and his daughter talk about how to fix a broken economy. No, they're not. It's not father. Well, she is. She definitely looks younger. Like, her hair is not gray, but in the face you can tell she's got some age on her. She's probably not that much younger. Oh, and then Nicholas just brought that up. He seems way younger than her brother. Well, she's adopted. But also, sometimes people just go white-haired early. I had a professor who, I think he was just in his 40s, and his hair was pretty much all white. He kind of looked like, or like, well, there's like Anderson Cooper, and then, what's his name? Doesn't Glenn Beck also have really white hair, even from when he was younger? So sometimes people just look that way. They go white early. She's actually, or does she have work done? Well, maybe if she dyed her hair. I bet if you put some gray in her hair, she'd definitely look more her age very quickly. Because she was adopted. Okay, wait. I'm trying to think what's like the range of age that she could be. So she was adopted by Arthur Wesky. So let's try to estimate the youngest possible age that she could be first. So let's say she was adopted by him, and then like the next day the coup happens and he gets thrown in prison and dies. So that would be 1927. That was 26 years ago. So, yeah, because we're in 53, right? Yeah, so 26, and figure she was like a day before turning 18. So we'll just say 18. She's at least 44. But then, even then, if you go now she wanted to study at university. Let's say she was maybe 10. So then you tack on 8 more years to that. She's at least 52, and then that's that's going with the youngest possible age that she is. So I think she just kind of looks good for her age, but you can kind of see it around the eyes, and it is entirely possible that she's dyed her hair. Yeah, David's 24. Let's see. Nicholas says I have a lot of white spots. I'm not even 25. There you go. Exactly. So anyway,
our trade deal with Agnolia has increased our imports and exports by 50% in 1 month, with much more to be expected in the future.
Let's see here. Let's see. We should look for more trade partners. We can make much more and increase our presence in the region.
I agree. Not just the region, we should target for more deals internationally. We should see our improved relations with Agnolia as a stepping stone to expand positive influence.
Hold on. I support our foreign initiatives with partners as democratic as Agnolia. Hold on. Was Edith the one? Yeah. Edith is... Yes, Sansa from A Song of Ice and Fire. Great. Let's see here. I didn't ask for your opinion. Damn, when did we become bitchy? We're not gonna do that. Aligning ourselves to more democratic countries is good for Swordland. It's good to overall trade with other countries as well. Democratic countries generate more trust in general. On a side note, consumer spending has decreased further due to a pessimistic mood caused by the issues with our economy. What? Mood? What the fuck are you talking about? Oh, she probably means the international mood, because she said consumer spending. So probably international consumers are not buying as many of our products, is what she means, not the ones at home. I am confident we will turn this mood around with adaptive projects and solutions. Good to hear. We will do better. While I agree that our first attempts were not successful, we still might have economic opportunities left. It isn't good for our reputation as the people expected quick solutions. We are running out of time. Wait, what's this news? Was this here before? Women's March for Equal Education. Alright. Anyway, Simon checked his large dossier. Sadly, our budget reserves don't look too good. We'll need to look into whatever we can to increase the budget we have. What can we do about it, Simon? I will formulate a plan and present you the next steps. As per the latest data, unfortunately, the recession seems to be lingering. No matter the cost, we'll have to increase our economic development rates. Otherwise, I'm sad to say, we will be doomed. We need to use the opportunities we are shown. Trade deals and infrastructure improvements always help. Mr. President, I will be very clear. Simon took off his glasses and put them on the table. He looked at me straight in the eye. You already know this, and I don't want to frighten you, but if we are unable to stop this recession, we are headed towards an economic catastrophe that has never been seen before in Swordland. No, an entire Eastern Mercopa. I can't even begin to imagine how we could survive that. None of us wants to see Swordish people starve while the state is unable to provide for its citizens. Then we need to get to work. Exactly. He puts on his glasses. Now, to help with the recession, there are a few possibilities I want to outline. We might be in debt, but it doesn't change the fact that we need to increase our economic development. Yeah, took off the glass. That's when you know it's serious. So there is a potential to take additional debt to flatten the curve. Flatten the curve? 2020 triggered! I have prepared a few project proposals. There are two main distinctions in between these projects. It's either about continuing our infrastructure improvements or investing in increasing production. If we continue on our infrastructure, that would lift us up to advanced country levels. However, our industrial production suffered and also needs a boost to return to pre-recession levels. There is, of course, the option to not take any risks related to our budget. The plans for these projects will be finalized soon. For now, I can provide preliminary information. Which one would you like to hear first? Let's talk about improving infrastructure. What does that mean? Benfey Internet. Okay, let's get moving here. So we can create an international airport, or we can do a Morna port. Do we have achievements for any of these? As we all know, that's the real goal here. Achievements, achievements, achievements. Let's see. I'm trying to see if there's anything for either the port or the airport. Hello there, Merpa. Have you been around? I don't think I've seen you in chat before. Well, welcome to it if it's your first time. We already have the railroad, except we don't have the railroad. That's the issue. Let's see here. I'm kind of tempted to work on an airport just because right now I'm pissed at the El Paso airport. It always makes it so difficult to come in or leave. Unless you're going to Dallas or Denver direct. You know, cities that actually are hubs that people give a shit about. I don't see any sort of achievements, so it looks like we can actually just choose what we think is best here.
The Morna port will boost trade and improve the flow of goods towards Holsword, because the Conriat port is too small in capacity and extension is blocked by the Navy headquarters.
That's interesting because isn't the railway also going to connect there to Conriat? Or no, where's the Morna port? Wait, Morna. Morna. Where is Morna? Oh, I need to look this up. Okay, Benfey, Morna, regional capital of the Lauren region. Oh, here it is. Oh, I didn't even see that was on the coastline. It's kind of off the coastline. Well, we're going to listen to both sides first. Economic... Oh, did we accidentally lock ourselves in? Oh, I didn't mean... I thought that it was like the other things where they're going to say, well, we could do this, and these are the arguments for and against this, or we could say, no, we could do this, and then it shows the arguments for and against it, but I guess like I accidentally decided, yeah, we're going to do infrastructure. Oh, the decision is after the meeting? Oh, okay, so we're just talking. We're just talking. We're not locking ourselves in here. Let's see. Morna would be a more significant city with a port, and the advanced logistical connection to Lodz Holsword would be better utilized. Yeah, we're already building the railway, so it should stack. That's what I think, anyway. Yeah, the railway. Okay, so San Gens is bringing up the railroad. From what I remember, the railway is like connecting a couple of different cities. Like it's, you know, centers in Holsword, but. Or was it just straight through to Lockerbin? Let me check the codex! Important events. I don't know. Ah, screw it. The railway also connects to Holsword. There you go, yeah. The railway definitely goes through Holsword, and this goes to Holsword as well. So even if there's not the railway, it's going to get to us, and then from there we can shoot it out to the rest of the country. I think it's going to stack. We're going to do that. I don't think investing in Morna with a port would do much to change our economic prospects. Goods are flowing from other places just as fast. Increased imports and exports on a more accessible path to Holsword is very lucrative in my opinion. Time is money.
I agree with Edith, my sister Edith. She's adopted. Anyway, the Morna port will mean a great deal to our trade and improve the...
By the way, I saw the Here Comes the Money mention earlier. That was nice.
The Morna port will mean a great deal to our trade and improve the economy of the Lauren region too.
Okay, yeah, so here, what are the projects that could boost our production? For production, we have two projects. One is the Sarna Agricultural Zone, and the other is the Conriat Industrial City.
I did see the Sarna Agricultural Zone investment as a higher priority, due to the,
I see, not I did see.
That farmers in Bergia were most hit by the recession. Sarna also is a much poorer city than Conriat.
The Conriat Industrial City project has the potential to increase manufacturing in the greater Holsword region by a large amount. Where's Conriat again? Conriat's here. Now this, it is connected via railway. But I don't know. we could do... Really, I guess it doesn't really matter, because I think I'm going to go with the port. Could somebody bring Tenbray up to speed, please? If not, I guess I could do it in a couple of minutes. We've already invested in Bergia. Conrad is more beneficial. We're investing in healthcare and education for the farmers. We got to focus on the economy. Yeah, I think the manufacturing industry would be good, especially because we're getting all that steel from Magnolia. But the port is probably what we're going to do. I don't think you can go wrong here, really. I think all 4 options would probably benefit us. Did we ally up with totally Not-Saddam? No, it didn't work out, Tenbray. He basically told me, hey, could you help me genocide the Bloods? And I kind of went, you know what? I think that's a deal breaker, bro. And he goes, wow, okay, bro. Thought you were cool, bro. You did piss off Volksland and naval pattern. Power. Oh, that brings up a good point, yeah. We should invest and develop Conrad to diversify the economy in Greater Holsword, which would mean a great deal. Manufacturing investments are the kind of investments we need for a healthy economy and our currency strength. Conrad is a developing city with a lot of potential, while Sarna and the Bergia region are lackluster. Alright, I have enough information. Anybody want to add something? We negotiated with Bush and Saddam back to back. Oh, yeah. Was there any in-between in the genocide? Oh, yeah. The in-between was, he said, look, I'm going to tell you what he meant, even if it's not literally what he said. He said, okay, so when I start genociding them, they're going to start fleeing to your country. Could you just, like, stop them at the border? That way there's nowhere for them to run while I genocide them. Thanks much. Appreciate it. Hugs and kisses. Alright, nobody answered. That concludes the meeting. Have a good day, all. Alright, well, okay, I guess that's it. Yeah, but we talked with Joseph, and so what we're probably going to try to do is get a alignment with either Lesbia or Volksland. Volksland probably not going to happen because we recognize Helgeport as being part of Agnolia, but we'll try. You see, the thing I'm worried about is if that means we're going to have to start getting involved with the greater communist power. Oh, we got some other stuff going on here. This naval tension between these two is growing. I'd like it if we... Oh, Van Horten just had an election. Oh, okay. So he just got reelected. Good for him. At least he asked. That's more than most genocidal leaders attempt to do. Well, I think he asked in a way it's like, yo, bro, we're both racist, right? Come on, let's kill these guys, bro. You know, I kind of want to try to go for an alliance with Volksland to see if I can maybe negotiate a settlement between these two. Yeah, I know, Sangens, we recognize this as belonging to Agnolia, but maybe we could try something. Who knows? Maybe we, like... I like that idea that's been suggested of, you know, we say, guys, Agnolia says the island belongs to them, Volksland says it belongs to them. Both perfectly valid arguments. So we're just gonna take it for Swordland, and then neither of you gets it, and now you don't have to argue about it. So, here we go. Ooh, a lot of unread newspapers. Housewives march to defend Swordish tradition. We at the Whole Sword Post hope President Rain will make the sane decision and not fall into the trap of pursuing unnecessary changes in the classroom. I get the feeling that anything I do because I've pissed off the owner of these papers, no matter what I do, he'd say I was stupid. Remember, guys, they're not communists. They are, what's the term? Governmental. No, what's the name of the thing? Workers' Party. international. They're not communists. I need to learn how to pronounce this word. They believe in millennialism. Millennialism. Okay. Taurus Holding is the newest addition to this ever-growing list. Yeah, can President Rain do anything right? Yeah, they all hate me. Picking Taurus was a recipe for disaster. And by the way, this is like Marxist-Leninism, communism here. You know, it's the USSR's version of communism. I'm just making it jokes because I need to learn how to pronounce it. But yeah, it's completely the USSR. Look at all this: Vanguard Party, the proletariat, proletarian internationalism, dictatorship of the proletariat, critical of socialism in one country, which the USSR was before Stalin took control. You know, rapid industrialization. This is, you know, it's our timeline's communism. You know, mainstream communism. Anyway, we want to try to get money off the commies and the capitalists. Oh yeah, if we can get money from them without, you know, them building bases on our land or getting alliances, sure, why not? Operation Bear Trap has begun. Oh yeah, Tenbray, this is the genocide. President Smolak has declared the start of Operation Bear Trap against the separatist militia group that plagues Northern Welland, the Bloodish Freedom Front, which again has not done shit in years. Rumberg, Agnoli, and Lesbia has condemned the mobilization order, citing the war crimes committed during the previous assault against the Bloodish people, while Swordland has not made any comments on the matter. Watchtower of Human Rights said they are following the developments closely for any infractions on human rights violations. Ho ho. Yeah, Vogsland is their own theory. You're right. You were right, Creative Nick Dam. I remember this. That's why I kind of thought he was like a Tito, but no, but they're still part of the greater pact. Anyway, what's going on here? Investment in mega project. There are several investment projects outlined which we can start. Okay, it looks like any of these that we do is going to put us is going to give us a -2 in the government budget. Man, where's the part where we build a money printer? Oh, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? I'm double checking to see if there's any freaking achievements for doing these. I'm probably gonna do the port. The port. I don't think any of them are bad. I'd be really surprised if any of them don't help us. But the port probably would help us the most, if that makes sense. Oh, that's not a good sign. I just saw that there was an achievement for successfully completing the railway. Only 6.5% of players have done it. Uh-oh. That's not good. That's not good at all. I don't see... Also, judging by the achievement list, it's much, much harder to become part of the Communist Pact than the American one. Okay, well, I don't see anything for the port. Oh, it's another new achievement that came in 1.1, so take it with a grain of salt. Ah, okay. Well then, yeah, let's go with the port. Why not? Debt means nothing! Money printer go brrrr. Maybe most players decide to go capitalist over socialist. Possibly. It is a game that's in English. They're probably more comfortable aligning with the Western power. But y'all know I don't give a shit about that stuff. I care about role-playing. Although I have been going centrist a lot lately. But don't worry, guys. Don't worry. We're gonna swing far to the right. I don't even know if you can even call it to the right. Like, we're gonna fall off the right-wing cliff in March between the Burgundy campaign and something else that I've got planned. Something that I actually finished recording early this morning. Alright, what do we want to do here? Okay, oh, polio has been discovered in rural Suzerain. Gosh, we really are like Afghanistan in some ways. First the infant mortality rate, now this. We gotta quarantine the patients. There's 23 active cases. Budget allocation of healthcare. Nice timing on that meeting there. Polio crisis in Welland. Yeah, he's just like, Mr. President, we can't have a serious issue. But yeah, I have been going. Actually, I keep forgetting to upload this funny thing that I found. It's because I need to chop it up and edit it so it'll fit in the community tab. But there's this funny thing that I saw, and it made me think of how I've just kind of coincidentally been watching a lot of. I've been playing a lot of centrist lately, because I went centrist for the Black Belt Republic, and I'm going centrist in this, and I went centrist in my first Comey campaign, and and stuff. Before I could start reading, I heard a couple knocks. Pascal entered, followed by Lucien. Mr. President, it's time for the scheduled healthcare meeting. Good afternoon. Very well, let's begin. They've taken their seats, and Pascal produced documents from his suitcase. He put them on the table. Pascal looked at the newspaper I was reading. Very troubling news from Welland, Mr. President. I have just returned from a meeting with our top scientists on the matter of polio. It seems to be spreading. Yeah, so this is, let's be clear here. Let's be clear. This is not, I know that the newspaper thing was here in Suzerain, but it's coming from Welland. They've got the polio. Oh, that is some good game design. That's good writing. I already know what's going to happen. So, what did we just do with Welland? They were saying you need to close the border because if not, so we can keep genociding people because they're going to flee into your country. And then I said, fuck you, we're not doing that. But now there's a polio epidemic that's raging the country. So now those refugees, even if we're coming from a place of, well, they're being genocided, we've got to let them into the country, they're gonna be carrying polio. That's what's gonna happen. Oh, I just know that's what's going to happen. And you know what? We're going to let him in. We're going to let him in just because I want to see if I'm right, if I predicted that right. And if I'm not, if I predicted that right, that's not me going, oh, the developers, the writing is so obvious. No, that's good. By the way, that's something I hate, this trend that's been happening in media for the last several years where it's about, and I mean all media, books, television, film, whatever. It's like, you know, we got to subvert expectations. No, it's fine if expectations are met if you have been building to that moment. There's nothing wrong with that. But everybody's got to, you know, like, oh, I'm not going to let them get me or whatever, you know. Those can be great moments. Anyway, let's get to this. Get some water too. Woo. Excuse me. What are we doing to prepare? We have notified all of our healthcare staff, especially the ones closer to the Welland border. Unfortunately, these are also the more rural areas where we lack equipment and staff. What I was told by our researchers is that with the current infection rate, there will soon be millions of people affected by polio. We need to be ready for any possibility. I doubt it is that serious yet. Regardless, back to the topic, Mr. Benewol. Pascal put on his reading glasses and went through the documents. He didn't say anything for a whole minute. Yeah, we improved the health budget. Yeah, we did. Are you kidding me? We had to. Just the infant mortality rate alone, it was horrible. Yes, of course. Let's start. He put the papers down, cleared his throat, and looked at me. In general, I am very content with the budget decision that was made. This comes as a very pleasant surprise that we all welcomed at the ministry. The overall mood has been positive as the administration focuses more on the healthcare. I'm excited about what we can achieve with the allocated funds. Let's see, how rural is Bergia? It's very rural. That's my understanding. It's the most rural, isn't it like the most rural area in the country? Oh, the chat is moving now. We've got some chatter going on. Let's see. Hey, thanks to polio, we got FDR. It's not all bad. Oh, goodness. We did not improve the military budget creative nickname. Remember, Joseph was quite peeved with us about it. Do you have any specific areas of focus in mind? I'm personally invested to solve the horrible infant and maternal death rates along with your requests. As you know, I've been preparing a new privatization program that would create the funds through selling of unused ministry property and some extra taxes. It might not go against our strategy to promote a market economy, but I'm personally against privatization of government services. Such vital services must be under state control. Aside from creating initial funds, there's a long-term problem with privatization in a country like Swordland. What are the problems? People are already lacking proper health care, even though it's free. What happens when you privatize? Prices increase as state hospitals close due to sales. We will prevent the worst case scenarios. There needs to be healthy structural improvements in this sector. This is not Arcasia or Lesbia. You're talking about Swordland, in which the healthcare is free, for now. We have people who have their lives depending on a service that is free to them. Messing with that structure will definitely hurt us politically in the future. That I know for sure. But the choice is yours, Mr. President. Oh, man. What did the conservatives want to do in the government? Did the conservative... You see, and remember, I'm talking conservatives in the Swordlandian sense. Did Gloria say she was going to get mad about the, if we privatized healthcare? We could have a mixed system. What about that? Yeah, I thought that's what we were doing was a mixed system, but I guess the mixed system is just for education. Let's see here. Lobbying firm. She was a spokeswoman. She was the spokeswoman for education, so she's probably fine with government education. This is tricky. We need the money. We need the money that can come from the privatization. However, I feel like we're going to be in for a big windfall once several things click in at once. So, like, we're going to have the railway's going to finish eventually, and we're going to have the port. We're going to more than make our money back on that, I'm sure. Not to mention, we've got things going good with Agnolia. We're going to try to get another trade deal, either with Vogsland or Lesbia. And it's my understanding from when from looking at these notes, I think that we can have a trade deal with somebody without necessarily having a military alliance. I don't know. I know it says investment, but the way it's worded makes me think we're going full privatized. Plus, I hate to say it, but it's because when we're talking about, we're talking about health issues when a polio crisis is about to come in, and we've got this horrible infant mortality rate, but Lucian also brings up the point that the people are not going to like this. because they usually get this for free. Shit. We've gone free market with everything else. This would be the only thing we don't do free market. I don't think that would because you see, the another thing I'm thinking is that we ran on a policy of free free market. But so I'm afraid that if we also keep it in state control, that's gonna, then people are gonna say you've turned back on your promise to open up the market. What track is this? I like it for this occasion. Diplomacy. Anyway. I think, let's see, we've gone private on education. We let a private company take control of the railway. We've done mostly free market stuff. This, I think, would be the first state control thing we've done. I think we're gonna keep the healthcare in state control. You know what's the key factor for me is the polio thing. The polio is a wrench in the system. And so I think that we're gonna need to have to speak with one voice. We're gonna do state control. Don't allow any private involvement that could endanger core health services. As you wish. The health services shall remain in public hands. Good choice. Thanks for the affirmation. Now let's get to the big question of how we will spend the extra funds dedicated to the Ministry of Health. We need the money. Aren't we already planning to privatize the mining services and also something else? We've got other stuff we're going to privatize. This is probably the only thing we're going to keep in state control. Okay. What do we want to do? Rural areas. Yes. Yes, that was the thing, right? Although, maybe we might need new hospitals if an epidemic is about to start raging through the country. What are we gonna do here? Let's see here. Check my situations tab. Which is the situations tab? What's that? You mean the turns? What are you talking about? What's the situations tab? What, like welfare? Or, oh yeah, low quality rural health care. Yeah, inaccessible rural education. Yeah, I think... Yeah, we're already privatizing education. What's Renan welfare principles? Welfare services by the Renan aristocracy are being questioned. What? I don't even remember this. Has this been a thing we've gone into? Yeah, what are your suggestions? Let's think for a little bit. Give me some ideas. We have 3 options to use the majority of our funds on. We can build new hospitals where needed. We can spend money on increasing salaries for health workers, or we can spend money to improve existing treatment in rural areas. I think we gotta go rural. Yeah, improving treatment in rural areas is a must. It would prevent mistreatment, disease, and sickness. Our rural clinics are old, ill-equipped, and understaffed, which causes a huge urban and rural disparity. It is one of the causes of maternal deaths and other sicknesses which I want to solve within this term. Reports have shown that minor epidemics are spreading in certain areas due to old facilities with lack of hygiene and equipment. I believe improving treatment in rural areas should be our focus, Mr. President. It's a modifier saying Swordland is used to public welfare. Oh, okay. It would be best to consider the political advantages of each one, as well as the practical advantages before making a decision. A few minutes went by in contemplation as the moment to make a decision came near. Yeah, improve rural treatment by hiring health staff and upgrading equipment. New contracts for improvements will be drawn up immediately. That is all, then. Very well. Fruitful meeting, nevertheless. Nice and short. Thank you for the meeting. Okay. Man, I'm feeling kind of tired. I think, do we want to kind of call it a day here? But more news, more news. The Radical says Ishaval Ersin is right. So this is, okay, this is that case we saw earlier. Some sort of a Supreme Court thing. Or it's going to the Supreme Court. The troubling and justified case of Ishal Ersin is making its way from the lower courts to the Ministry of Justice by order of to the Supreme Court. Thereafter, the systemic racism felt around the country seems to know no limits, especially when it comes to the largest minority of our nation. The truth is that the situation is very bleak, and the bloodish people demand their long-awaited rights. The Constitution protects the individual rights on paper, but those who uphold and enforce the law pay little attention to such legalities. It gets even worse when justified legal cases like these are made and appealed to the Supreme Court. The general outcome is always depressingly unjust. Unfortunately, nobody expects otherwise in this case either. Thousands protest the new governor of Hedgeland. They didn't hold any local elections on the island. Chancellor Hagel has condemned the decision. The increasing tension prompted the Agnolian authorities to make the decision with an aim to increase their control over the island. This is becoming a problem. Gosh, Rumberg is just jacking off watching this fight between these two. Okay, so we now have quality rural health services. So from there to there. Excellent. What now? Oh, finally we can talk with Franz Richter on the upcoming vote. What's this? Privatization update that has shown results. So it's finally time to sit down with Franz Richter. I think that this is probably going to be a pretty easy conversation. Like, I don't know. He might try to, like, he's probably gonna whine and complain, like, why is the threshold at 8%? I wanted it 3. No, I wanted it 0. But him and his party are gonna vote with me. There's no reason for them not to. We desperately needed to talk to the handsome capitalist pig. It's like, this sexy son of a bitch. As we desperately needed more support, that's why I'd invited Franz Richter for a chat. He's wearing his signature navy blue suit and handed me a bottle of Arcasian chocolates before sitting down on the couch. Why did you have to give me the Arcasian chocolates when everybody says you're a puppet of the Arcasians, bro? Okay. 0% threshold would be chaotic. Parties with one person in the assembly only make things complicated and are therefore corrupt. Richter is friendly. Also let him speak if you ask him about the photos of Hawker. You mean Hawker's photos. The threshold's at 10% because Gloria's too good at negotiating. That's right! She made us drop it completely! Ugh. Oh, we're not going to accuse him of Arcasian crap. No, Hawker is being a silly bitch. Yeah, it's one of those things like, don't you have better things to do with your day than stalk the opposition leader? I'm going to just say thank you for the gift.
Oh, it's nothing, Mr. Wright.
He took a folder from his briefcase and flipped it open. I could see the scribbles he'd made in the margins of my draft proposal.
I have to say, I am surprised by this proposal you prepared for the new Constitution. I really do not understand your reasoning behind some of the changes.
What? You don't understand your reasoning. Aren't you the one leading this? Like, I'm leading this, but, you know, he's the one who wants it. He's probably gonna be, you know, right now I'm remembering this Simpsons thing where, I don't remember what the situation was. They were gonna, like, blow up a building, and I think it was a historic building, but there was an argument over it. And then the construction worker is this guy. He's got, like, aviators, and he's all gung-ho, very cool. And he's like, what are we gonna do, Mr. Foreman? And the construction worker says, I say we blow the building and let the bleeding heart liberals complain about it later. And then it cuts to a bunch of hippies, and they're just they go into a megaphone, and they're saying, why can't the building be destroyed by a woman of color? And so, because, like, I think they also wanted the building destroyed, but they're like, we want a woman of color to push the plunger. So that's just how I'm imagining Richter is with whatever his complaints are. There goes your attraction to Mr. Richter out the window with that voice. Yeah, he smoked a lot of cigarettes, so now he sounds like an old Brooklyn Jewish man. Anyway, what parts don't you understand? Like, all of it. I'm actually secretly illiterate. It is my great shame. It's just, whoa, what a plot twist. Anyway.
I don't know where to begin. You are not reforming the presidential decree process. This was not at all what we talked about. This has become the opposite of democratic. Not to mention that you have ignored our demands to lower the undemocratic electoral threshold. How are you calling this a democratic package?
We could say you prefer Seoul's constitution then. You know, that'd be a little bit bitchy though, so we're not gonna go that way. We're gonna push the realism thing. Let's try to tell him, you know, hey man, we're gonna do these reforms, then we can do more reform. Because seriously, if we want to do more reforms, because I don't know if it's possible, but I figure there has to be something where you go full, what do you call it, Malenovic? You know I need to learn the damn name. Where you learn to go Millennialism. Yeah, Millennialism. I'm guessing that there's a path in this game where you go millennialism, but you're surely not going to become a communist in the constitutional reforms. You probably have to do that, and then later on, Chapter 3, Chapter 4, you then keep modifying yourself. Now, we're not going to do that in this run, but I'm guessing that that's how that would work. But anyway, so we're going to tell him, be a realist, Mr. Richter. This proposal is the best we could do.
A realist? Is that your excuse, Mr. President? So this proposal is realistic, but what we demand is not? And you're saying this while you're begging me for my party support?
Let's see here. Be it small or great, a step forward is a step forward. Or I can go, yes, friends, and you will give me your support and start undoing my belt. No! No, President Ray, no! Anyway, step forward is a step forward.
Well, that is true. We shouldn't stop anyone from trying their best. That being said, I may be willing to support this proposal, even though I don't find it sufficient. However, I'm still not sure what to make of it.
What are you thinking about? What are you thinking about? I think some of you are a little bit behind. Be sure to hit live on the stream or hit double speed to catch up.
You're putting all the reformists in a tough spot like this, Mr. Rain. I'm sure it was tough to persuade your party to support this proposal, but this is what happens when you expect the USP to bring change. Don't expect me to sympathize with you. Not only have you minimized the potential of the reforms, you're taking the spotlight away from PFJP members who campaigned for these reforms for years. You'd better have something else to offer.
Is the idealist reformist asking for a bribe? Jeez, wouldn't that be something? It's like, is any reformer here actually trying to be Democrat? It's, you know, that line from the Big Lebowski, I just, you know, cocking my pistol. Am I the only one around here trying to... Hey, our economy line went down. Weren't we at 4? Anyway, it's like, am I the only one around here trying to be a fucking Democrat? Trying to actually create a fucking republic? I'm thinking we're gonna say the democracy line though. Yeah. I have nothing to offer but democracy.
You're still going to use that word?
Yeah, you're not wrong, friends. You're just an asshole.
I value Switzerland and democracy more than anything, Mr. President. I also have to look out for myself and my party. Surely you understand. And if we're talking about democracy here, I first need your province that you're not going to cast a shadow over the PFJP anymore. You will give us proper credit and finally do something about the unbalanced representation of our party on television.
This is the first I've heard about it. Sure, bro. Count on me. Yeah, right. It's turning out to not be a bribe. It's like,
No, I don't want a bribe. I'm not interested in money or in political position. What I'm interested in is sexual positions between you and me. I've been told I am a handsome man, and I think you would find me attractive. And quite frankly, you look quite good yourself.
and then bam, secret homosexual relationship. And then we get an achievement, but is it worth it? Because then our wife finds out, and that's a divorce, and it's just horrible. It's horrible. It's horrible. Anyway, but I don't think we're gonna go down that path.
That's good to hear. Then I can say, I'll be happy to cooperate with you, Mr. President.
So he just wanted to whine. He just wanted to whine for a little bit.
I will hold you to your province.
I'm happy to cooperate with you too.
Was there anything else?
Before you leave, I'd like to address a few things I've heard about you. Oh, no.
Yeah, I am once again asking for a bribe.
You could have united the party if you sidelined the conservatives. What? How would that unite the party? The conservatives are part of my party. Or what, do you mean like... Are you saying like something crazy, like the PFJP would fold itself into the USP? No, we're not gonna ask it. We're not gonna ask him. That's a stupid thing. That's dumb. That laundry needs airing. Oh, for coalition. Right. You can't unite the parties. Boot them out of your party and absorb the other reform party. Anyway, we're not going to do that. It's just the crazy old man yelling at clouds. Where was I? Sir, you're dumb.
It's nice to have a president that we can finally have a dialogue with.
He laughed.
I'll see you in the history books. Have a nice evening for now.
Okay.
Okay.
There's a coalition for the next election, but there's no second term, so it's mostly unionless. Hey, DLC, bro. Nah, we don't need DLC in every freaking game for the rest of our lives. Thank you very much. So, we're keeping the healthcare in state control. Rural healthcare has been improved. We're persuading friends to support the constitutional changes. So, if his party was not among the initial signatories, then we just locked this reform down, I think. But if his party already was part of the signatories, then we've got issues.
Oh, I am yawning.
Sorry, guys. Let's see here. Award company contract. Oh, this is mandatory. The SSC, Underhull Construction, and Taurus holdings companies have put forward their bids in the hopes of winning the government contract for the new ambitious investment project. So this is B for the port. So once again, it's between Underhull Construction, Taurus Holding, and the Sword of State Corporation. I'll tell you right fucking now, we are not going to do Underhull Construction. Remember, that's Tusk's people. Tusk so fast he can't travel by. Tusk is so fat he can't travel by. I'm sorry. You know why I'm tired and a little sleepy? Believe it or not, I swear this is true. I kind of accidentally ingested alcohol earlier today, like in the middle of the afternoon. It's a whole thing. So I'm gonna let you guys vote on it. This is, I think, the port project. So I know that you guys actually it was really close. Like we went with Taurus before, but Taurus, the railway has stalled, so I don't know if that's changed your guys' opinion on them. But I'm gonna let you guys vote on it again. Okay, project contract. So we can double down on Taurus, or we can do the state corporation. All right. So hold on, let me get the poll going. Alright, poll has been created. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I'm hearing arguments against both sides pretty much. No, we're not gonna. No, fuck Underhall. Fuck them. Fuck them. Although I think there's like an achievement for if you do something with Underhall. Let me see here, but. Oh, that's if you buy shares from them. But we already missed our opportunity to do that anyway, somebody told me. That's if we're already off of that path. Sengen says, yeah, okay, so let me read all the counter arguments, basically here. Or all the various arguments. So, sorry, I'm not going to credit you with whatever you argued in the chat, just because I want to run through everybody's very quickly. So, somebody says, isn't Taurus scummy? Yeah, they apparently are not treating the workers well. Taurus is still the biggest one. Remember technology and fuck Tusk. Surge says fuck Tusk. Yeah, that's not really related. SSC. Okay, no. We already gave a contract for Taurus. They're sucking so far. The SSC also sucks. They are inefficient and also state-owned. That's not liberal. The SSC might finish the damn project, unlike Taurus. We went free market. Giving a contract to a state corporation is not aligned with our ideology. You know what you do with a bad investment? You double down! That's a shame. I wanted to see a surprise when you gave him a contract despite not accepting his bribe. Oh, Underhall could get the job done. Sorry, Hot Boy, not an option. We could balance Taurus with SSC. I vote SSC. Taurus is already doing a project. Taurus is better suited to this kind of work than the railway, so it'll probably work fine. Best not to divide their attention. So, it's very vigorous discussion. Very, very vigorous. Let me go ahead and let's check it. Ooh, it's a tight vote. It is a two vote difference right now, and barely half of you have voted. So get voting if you haven't already. Vote, 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 vote. Link is in the chat. Let's go. While you do that, my mother has messaged me. Oh, my grandfather's in the news. Don't worry, it's a good thing. Let's see here. It's tight, guys. Please vote. Okay. We're gonna give it another, minute or so. Oh! No, that's copyrighted music! That's copyrighted music! Oh, no! Okay. Well, that's it. There goes the, there it goes. You know what? Actually, here, let's get to the second chorus. Yeah, so this is why not? This is the theme song for Sex and Violence with Mach Speed from Studio Trigger. Yeah! We're partying in the ballot box now! YouTube just auto-played this for some reason. We'll just go through the first chorus. Why not? We got super chat money, boys and girls. We don't need to worry about copyright claims. Baby, addicted violence. Yeah, sex and violence in the ballot box. It is tied now, guys. I need another vote. Next vote decides it. Go, go, go. Next vote's gonna pick it. I'm usually not into EDM, but I like this theme song. Somebody vote! Please! Implement a ranked voting system for two people. For a two options. I swear to God, if this is tied, we're gonna go with Underhaul. So somebody fucking vote. There it is! Taurus! Taurus won it. One vote. Taurus won. We're doubling down. Alright, enough of the music. Don't threaten us with a good time. Yeah, I wonder if there was somebody who was about to vote and went, oh, he's gonna go Underhaul. Yeah. Alright, let's get back to the Suzerain theme. I guess we've been stringing long enough that the OST ran out. You throw good money after bad. That's how it works. Okay. Little update on the situation of education. Oh, this is a meeting. I didn't know this was going to be a meeting. I thought this was just going to be like a report. Okay. The entire campus was visible from the window. Students were reading books, studying, and having picnics under the trees. I was reminded of my own times at Dyer University of Culture. At least the more carefree moments. Reminiscent about the past. Yeah, it had its ups and downs, but it was still fun. And now we're growing old and bitter. She smiled. Let's not get sidetracked. I want to start off by saying this. It comes as a welcome surprise. That's supposed to definitely say as a welcome surprise in Swordfish politics to see a president uphold their promises regarding education. I'm sure that the additional funds are being used in the best way. I'm making sure the funds are being used in the best way possible in order to resolve structural issues. Speaking of, the state having had to rely on privatization funds is a disgrace. We are letting private interests meddle in the most essential service, learning. New private schools are increasing the disparity of services in education. Lower income households who can't afford the private school in their district might need to send their schools to a public school far away. Probably meant to say their students or their children to a public school far away. I'm finding more and more grammatical errors. Let's see here. Let's see. I had my concerns with Kiara, but she seems like a pretty nice person. Yeah, you know, she's not evil. She's not like a bitch. She just is really, really strong feelings, and so she's aggressive with, you know, pursuing them. Anyway. Where was I? I want to thank you for allowing me to lead our educational system in the right direction. By removing nationalist indoctrination and traditional teachings, we have unlocked the potential of the next generation. The students of now will thank us in the future, President Rain. For we have unlocked the potential of critical thought this society desperately needs. In this way, you have surpassed all the leaders before you. Let's see here. I kind of want to compliment her. What do we want to say? Swordland needs visionaries like you to reform to become something better. You played a huge part in this too, Kiara. I kind of like 1 and 4. Let's see here. I think we're going to... I'm going to say Swordland needs visionaries like you to reform to become something better. See, because I didn't want to focus it on her, because I feel like if I did focus it on her, she'd say, it's about everybody, you know, so let's go with that. We are onto something promising and grand, Mr. President. Be careful to flirt, you know, never know when a Supreme Judge is watching from behind a hedge. She nodded and brought back out a stack of papers from her bag. Spinning her ballpoint pen, she went through the papers, organizing some of them together. Our ministry has prepared the necessary framework regarding how to spend our increased education budget. I have outlined 3 potential options. We can build new rural schools, improve the standard of existing ones, or increase salaries for all education workers. Because of the additional funds from privatization on top of the budgeted increase, we should be able to implement 2 of these options. There we go. So, we could do 2 stuff. We're definitely going to do the rural schools. That was, like, a big plan, so we don't even need to hear about that plan. Like, we're going to definitely do that. Why should we increase the salaries of education workers? The job itself should be held in higher regard and be compensated accordingly. These are the people who have chosen to dedicate themselves to the betterment of others, to help raising the next generation. We ought to give them what they deserve. Check the national overview. Oh right, yeah, that actually worked out pretty good with the other thing. So let's see, economy, welfare, military order, disciple. Where's education? We have weak transportation links. We're working on that. Unemployment crisis. I don't know what we're gonna do about that right now. Large corporations are downsizing. We've got tax evasion problems. The Rust Belt. What is this? Lack of investment. The region's economy is going down at a rapid rate, causing increase in crimes. England lacks investment. Okay, but where's the education stuff? Okay, well, it's under welfare. Is education welfare now? Okay. We have an inconsistent curriculum. That seems to be the most serious problem, along with inaccessible rural education. There's a gap. We also have, yeah, the education gap. This is the private thing. Well, we can't fix that, can we? All right, so we'll probably do, what was it? Didn't she say improve the existing schools? But we're definitely going to do the rural ones. It's dragging our literacy rate. Oh, hold on. What's this news? Rain meets Richter. Yeah, whatever. Richter backs Rain's reforms. Rain's chances for successfully passing the reforms in the Assembly just got a lot higher. Okay. Where were we? Give them what they deserve. Tell me about the plan to build new rural schools. The issue is very critical, as we are losing many young people to ignorance and illiteracy. Swordland's rural population is full of untapped potential. With enough education, these people could be an asset to our workforce and society. Look at how united Contana is pushing past Arcasian education and research. It's because most of their rural populace has access to schools. Yeah, I've been getting the sense of that like right now in the Cold War, Contana has the lead, which the USSR, I would say, the USSR definitely had that lead in the 50s. Eisenhower's bullying of Latin America aside, yeah, I like, you know, the space race, and yeah, the Korean War ended up kind of ending in a tie because then Stalin died, because it was kind of it was a lot of factors, but definitely you have to include that Stalin dying and then Eisenhower also becoming president. Those two things happening very close to each other was a big part of it. But yeah, anyway, it's the early 1950s. Contana is in the lead. What does improving rural schools entail? Where to start? At the very least, they need new equipment and materials. Many of these schools are facing shortages of desks and textbooks. The ones that aren't haven't been updated since before the Sol administration. Hey there, Cody. What path are you going in this game? That's a good point. There doesn't seem to have been a version of World War II in this world. So, Yeah, the United Kontana didn't have to deal with millions and millions of dead citizens, as well as you know, an enormous chunk of their country being destroyed as it got occupied and whatnot. We're going for reformist Democrat. That's what the people voted for. We're doing reformist Democrat, leaning free market, but also relaxed immigration. That's we voted for all that back in like the first couple live streams. But I'm gonna definitely do other paths in the future. But yeah, let's actually go back into the history of some of these areas, kind of get the timeline in order, because there's like the Century of Revolutions, but I don't think there was like a world war per se. Whoops. Hold on. Yeah, there was just the Century of Revolutions. Malin, ideology created continent spanning socialist state. Reach far beyond the sea. The ripple effect for... Yeah, and also Kontana, from what I'm reading here, is an entire continent. Like, Volksland is an island, I think. But Kontana is an entire continent. So that would, like, imagine if all of Asia had gone communist and united. What's the 15-Day War? The 15-Day War... This is in the 1800s, though. Between Swordland and Rumburg. It seems like this was basically just an overblown border incident. Yeah. Yeah, this was basically a border incident that got out of control. So that's how a 15-day war... Well, I guess it didn't get completely out of control because it didn't turn into a huge war. But, like, if you're going to have a 15-day war in the 1800s, then it basically was a border skirmish. Not like the 6-day war thing with Israel. That's what you guys are thinking of, so it's different. How are you supposed to do a war in 15 days in the 1800s? That's not even time to mobilize your army, you know? Anyway. If the teachers lack the resources to give the Swordish youth a proper education, it can be as bad as if they don't go to school at all. I am ready to decide. So we're going to do two things, right? Let's see, the USSR was in 2 continents. China makes up like 30% of Asia. A commie continent doesn't sound so crazy. Yeah, exactly. What I'm saying is like, so this is an even stronger than our world USSR. So we're going to do, we definitely going to build the new rural schools. Increase access to education. It feels gratifying that we are finally serving the people directly. I will pass it down to the ministry. As mentioned before, there are enough resources to initiate one more policy plan. What would your preference be? Do we want to increase salaries? Well, increasing the salaries, isn't that going to help everybody? Although, gosh, I was hoping there was going to be an option where we fix the curriculum. But maybe fixing the staff would be a byproduct of that? To be fair, you can call yourself the United States of America, but not include all of geographic America in the nation. Yeah, that's a good point, Kessler. But I think in this world, Kontana, the entire continent, is united. So, like, let me try to find the thing. Oh, yeah, and then there's, like... Let's see here. And so Arcasia is sort of like the United States, but not completely, because they weren't a colonial nation, a colony nation that overthrew their king. It says here that it's actually kind of got a similar backstory to Swordland, or I should say maybe they inspired Swordland, because in the order, because they overthrew a king to start the revolution. They didn't, but it wasn't like a colony, like it was their own country. And then they created a republic one. So this is more like, in that sense, you can kind of compare it to maybe France. Let's see here. Argue average civil rights record. Yeah, anyway, we're not supposed to be talking about this. We're supposed to be figuring out the education thing. I kind of want to... We could make rural education really damn good, or we could try to have a rising tide lift all boats. Damn, this is tough. I'm gonna have you guys vote on it. I can't figure it out. Remember, this is the path we're doing is reformist democracy with swordlandish conquering history games characteristics, where he listens to the voices in the head. Let's see here. Increase salaries. Oops, hold on a sec. Increase salaries. New rural equipment. Okay. Hold on, I'm making the poll. Okay, the polls are open. Let's give it a moment. Aren't we capitalists? Yeah, we're free market. I think what Tenbray meant to say is screw United Cortana and screw United Arcasia. Meaning the superpowers, not necessarily the systems. But if they want to give us money, we'll take it. Oh, man. Well, we definitely lean free market. Everything we've done has been free market, except for the healthcare thing, which we haven't even really seen the consequences of that yet. But I believe every other decision I've made has been free market based, because that's what you guys voted for. I just made an executive decision for the healthcare thing because of the impending polio issue. Yeah. Oh, never hear true. I just wish there had been a decision to say, like, you know, fix curriculum. Okay, come on, y'all, vote. Yeah, it's no, it just registered the other votes. I was gonna say, damn, everybody's only voting for one, but nope, and then it just bloop, it just doubled the amount of votes it was counting. I'm looking at the results page, because obviously I don't vote in these. Anyway. Let's see. Sengets, I'm a liberal conservative, but Kiara is the kind of socialist I would support. Oh, the curriculum is getting fixed automatically because of my earlier decision? Ah. Maybe I need to give incentives to vote. What, do I need to pay people to vote now? What the fuck? The incentive is getting your voice heard. Anyway. Let's see here. Well, it seems like a runaway anyway. We're going to improve the rural education by purchasing new materials and upgrading old school equipment. That will definitely improve the education experience for our children. But you see, that's funny that you're calling Kiara a socialist. Like, she's a member of the Conservative Party. And she's not only a member of the Conservative Party, she's a minister within it. Are you seriously, like, is this a socialist, you know? It's like Nia. I think she's very much like Nia. Like, Nia just doesn't give a shit about other politics. She just wants to get rid of corruption. And, well, Kiara is a little bit more political. Like, she has a problem with the privatization. She's been very clear about that. But, like, what are her political views that are non-conservative? She's anti-privatization. Although it seems like the conservatives in this country are okay with that, actually. And she wants equal rights in education for women in the country. Like, is this radical socialism now? Anyway, where was he? I say, that's all there for now. Oh, I guess you're right. She's aggressively supported socialist policies. Well, I guess you're right. But then this brings up a whole other thing. Like, could you really say that the United Swordland Party is actually conservative? Or would it be easier, or would it perhaps be better to describe it as a nationalist party? Like, it's the party of the nation. It was what Seoul founded it, and it's been the major player. Yeah, and you see the Stardy has slowly started to protest against Sarko and Seoul and strayed from the Seoulist ideology. So it's an evolving party. It's almost like... actually, no, that's a bad example. I was going to compare it to the PRI down in Mexico, but no, that's a bad example. Yeah, exactly. It's a big tent. It has a conservative wing. It has a reformist wing. What would be a better example? Yeah, PRI was a horrible comparison. I don't know why I thought about that. Maybe more like... I guess you could say maybe it's more like what the Kuomintang would have been if they had ruled China under Chiang Kai-shek, or Peronism in Argentina. Maybe. No, not the Tories. I would say maybe more like Japan's Liberal Democratic Party, or what are they called? But like, because Japan has been virtually a one-party state for decades. But like, there's wings within it. Because they have their national diet, but the leading party, I think it's called the Liberal Democrats. It's something generic like that. Let me pull them up. The LDP, the Liberal Democratic Party of Japan. Yeah. The LDP has almost continuously been in power since its foundation in 1955, with the exception of a period between 1933 and 1994. Wow, big gap. And again from 2009 to 2012. Yeah. Why don't you read the soulism thing? Yeah, but no, that's the thing. The party is not necessarily soulist anymore, because it says here, they're protesting against authority. They're straying from the ideology. And plus, I'm trying to compare it to the real world. Yeah, but like, yeah, so like, the LDP has factions, because it has a conservative ring, it has a liberalist ring, and as Sangens just brought up, there is an ultra-nationalist wing as well. So anyway, let's finish this event, and then I think I'm going to call it a day, because I'm getting really tired. I've talked with Miss Suno to schedule some time to discuss the curriculum. Who's Miss Suno? Oh, our secretary. She's a very astute woman, your secretary. You may want to consider promoting her. What am I going to promote her to? She's she's like the #1 secretary in the nation. What am I going to make her, a minister? Something. What am I supposed to do? She's literally as high as she can go in this role. We'll meet again very soon. I don't know, maybe I can like... What could I do to promote her? Maybe bring her in as like an assistant on legislative affairs or something? Still something kind of secretarial and, administrative. Administrative is what I'm saying. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe she can like draft legislation? Why is she talking to your secretary? Well, because she was scheduling when we were gonna talk about it. Stuff later. The secretary talks with everybody. Keep up the good work. Alright, I think that's going to be it. If you start calling your minister's secretaries like in America, then you can promote her. Call her Secretary of Secretaries. Briefing on curriculums, call from Gus Manger. Alright, we've got more and more and more stuff to do. We're going to go ahead and call that a day. I am going to attempt to get through the rest of my day right now without getting absolutely hammered. I had one of those moments today where I remembered where I did something and it was just like, oh my god, that's basically like something embarrassing is going to come out, I think, about me. It's not a big deal, but it's just like, it was just one of those things where, you know, you ever have those moments where like you're trying to sleep at night and your brain's like, hey, I know you got to be up in like 3 hours. Because you have to be up late today and you got to be up early tomorrow, but it was like, but hey, you want to remember that embarrassing thing you did 8 years ago? Well, I'm usually not too bad about that. I usually forget about those things, but I had a realization of something embarrassing that happened today, and it's been yeah, I had a big yikes moment today, which has not been brought up. Nobody's brought it up yet. But I think it's going to come up. I don't know if it's going to come up tomorrow. I don't know if it's going to come up next week. Don't look at the clock. Don't be aware of how late it is or isn't. Oh, yeah, that is key. When you wake up in the middle of the night, just don't even check. Don't even look at the clock. Why did my economy go down more? Ah! Ouch! Oh, pop my elbow like a bitch. Ouch. So, hold on, what is it? Let's see. Tenbray picked her for her assets, not her brain, but Kiara apparently thinks that Miss Suno is astute. The call for the investment, that's for the investment of an Arcasian company, I think. What's the call? Okay, let's read these reports, though. So we're having an inflation crisis because we've been printing money to cover the deficits. Money printer go brrrr. Let's see. Conference. He's giving full support to the constitutional changes. Full support. That's 70 votes right there. We've got a briefing and a call. Those are going to be events that we're going to have to sit for a while. Women's Right March is happening still. What's the country overview thing? We now have accessible rural education, but we still have an inconsistent curriculum. However, overall, the welfare is looking really good. Read the report from Lockeven. Oh, construction update. It's been a year. The strike has been going on for a year. That is ridiculous. Holy shit. How are they able to sustain a strike for a year? This ain't the 1910s where, you know, the money's pouring in from the unions all over the country to support them. They can't afford that shit. Or I guess they can. Maybe I'm misunderstanding it. Man, we just gave these guys another contract. This Erson versus Swordland case. I'm still not understanding what exactly is going on here. Like, what is this case about? Is this something with civil rights and the Bloodish? Separate legal treatment of Bloodish and Dyer, and by extension, the whole of Bergia. I guess that's something. Yeah, right? You'd think that Taurus would have brought in scabs. Maybe I'm misunderstanding, and maybe what they actually meant to say is they mean that, like, it's going to take an additional... It's going to take a year over our original deadline. Or something. New mega project. Welland refugees have begun fleeing to the Swordish border. Yep, they're fleeing the genocide. Yeah, insert the "Which Side Are You On" song. Yeah, you know. And just because he's a human, a man doesn't like a pistol to his head. I think the case is kind of Brown versus Board of Education. Well, Brown versus Board of Education was in regards to... Well, I guess it could still be a civil rights thing. Yeah, never mind. Inflation is hitting. Loaf of bread costs twice as much as before. The price of water has tripled. President Rain lacks the sensitive economic strategy required to service the working class. You know, our ministers are coming in. Mr. President, we have to do something. Money printer go burr? Money printer go burr? President Rain. Okay, so they're criticizing here, but here they're praising me. Jesus, there's 100,000 refugees that have crossed the border so far. President Rain has done well without even accepting a trade deal with a rogue country like Welland. We all know the saying, even a broken clock is right twice a day. Gee, thanks. Okay, and then it looks like we're going to have two things here, which are actually going to be sit-down meetings, so we're not going to do those right now. Anything else? Any other smaller stuff? Yeah, there's something here with Welland. Initiating assaults. Yeah. Okay, so that's it. When are we going to be able to talk to Lesbia and Vogsland, by the way? Yeah, let's see. Are bloodish people deserving of civil rights? Let's hear it from some people on the ground. Quote by some icky reporter. Yeah, right. It's like, what was the quote I had said? I don't remember what minority group it was from. It was like a screenshot, I think, from Twitter or whatever. But it was, I don't remember if it was like gay rights or black rights or whatever, but it said, it's like, here's what it's like trying to fight for these rights. It's like, hey, maybe you could treat me like a human being? Person number 2. Interesting. Debate me. Yeah. It's like, I don't want a pistol to my head. That's interesting. Can we debate on whether I should have a pistol to your head? Vesic is already making trade deals with Lesbia. He said that in the last meeting. Yeah, but I'm talking about more than that. I should have been more clear. I meant to say that, like, you know, military alliances. When are we going to try seeking that? Let's try to get a second partner in all this, yeah? Agnolia was easy, you know. That was nothing. You know, I'm just imagining some argument that's happening at the University of Dyer between a couple of people. You know, it's happening in a classroom, and somebody's saying, like, I think we should accept the refugees because they're being genocided. And then the other person goes, interesting. So you think that the blood shouldn't be getting genocided? Let's debate that. Oh, shit. Almost spilled some water, but the mug was empty. Yeah, the economy's very bad right now. I don't think this is working out, guys. We need this railway. Hopefully the railway is going to finish. It's going to go ding, 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 ding. 10 government budget. Yay. All right, that's enough for today. I'm Conquering History Games, and I'll see y'all next time, in which we can hopefully get the economy up and running, maybe get some military alliances and finish up. Oh, well, what are we going to do here? We're getting a call from Gus Manager. Hopefully this, you know, he's our agriculture guy, but he seems to be the one where all the money comes from. So let's see how that goes. All right, everybody take care. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Cursor's stuck. The cursor's stuck. There we go.